Back to the Nationals, ang pinakamalaki at pinakaunang franchise-based league here in the country. At syempre, Mobile Legends ang ating action ngayong araw na to. My name is Wolf. I'm with Rob. We will be your casters para sa ating triple header Saturday. Rob, natapos na ang ating first series. Very quickly, kaya mo bang i-recap ng mabilis para sa ating mga viewers kung ano yung nangyari sa ating first series ng LPE versus STI eOlympians?
Yes, well, for quick recap, Wolf, syempre, it's been a 2-0 win from STI eOlympians, drafting an early-centric lineup in terms of going against naman sa medyo scaling na type of draft na ginawa ng LPE, wherein hindi naging maganda yung naging resulta para sa kanila. And STI, coming from a loss again, Bren E Pro, now stomping over dito sa LPE.
Yep, saktong-sakto na pag-usapan natin LPE. They will be playing later. But before that, tingnan muna natin ang shape ng ating standing group stages. Nagkaroon na tayo ng maraming mga matches between our teams. Bren E Pro and Smart Omega still up top with 7 points. Kung mapapansin ninyo, magkaiba ng win-loss ang Bren E Pro at Smart Omega, pero pare sila ng points. This is because of the fact na kapag naka 2-0 ka sa kalaban mo, 3 points ka. Pero pag 2-1, 2 points ka lang, and 1 point will go to the losing team. Now, STI Olympians and Eagles, sila yung naglaban kanina na magkasama sila ngayon sa gitna. The Eagles, however, lost their match against STI Olympians with more games, kaya naman mas mataas na yung eOlympians when it comes to the points. And later on, they're gonna have another match. For Eagles, they're gonna be up against Omega in this today for the second series. Nakakatakot yun for sure. And Cignal Ultra Warriors naman, gusto nila din maka-recover after their back-to-back losses. They will be facing up against a hot STI eOlympian squad later with 2 points ngayon. Ang Happy Feet Emperors naman ay hindi pa rin nakakuha ng points. And why don't we look at these teams? Para sa LPE naman, we did see them earlier, Rob.
Yes,
with Aspect, Jake the Dog, Arv Siako, AK Riot, and Bimo. Pero ano ba yung mga kailangan nilang improve coming into this match against SMO? Binalik ko yung tanong mo sa akin kanina.
Oo nga eh. Pero okay lang yun, Wolf. Alam mo kung bakit? Kasi I think yung naging pinaka-magandang ginawa ng LPE from their previous na mga series, of course, they lost on Cignal Ultra Warriors. Then they suddenly get a win against Happy Feet Emperors in a very, yung kumbaga the fashion that they had against HFE, talagang close to perfect. And I think they have to do it almost the same kung paano sila nanalo. Yung early game nila, kumbaga scaling kasi yung mga naging draft kanina eh. Siguro, might as well, since we get, yung nilaban sa kanina STI, might as well go back to their own roots na, let's try the draft na medyo early game din para sa atin. And they might, gumana na to sa kanila on their previous series, or rather doon sa series nila against Happy Feet Emperors, might as well baka gumana rin ito against Smart Omega. Pero, I guess, Wolf, we have to find out.
Yeah, saktong-sakto ang kanilang katapat. SMO, the team that was really challenged Bren E Pro in their previous match, and kahit pa sila yung natalo in that specific series, we still know that this is a very strong team. Nandiyan si Eli Hayes, si Otit na dati ay why not nagbabalik para Smart Omega for the second season of the Nationals, and then you still have Toshi, Heath, Kenji, Hajizi, ang bago nilang player na actually siya lang ginadagdag eh. It's Kurt TZ ngayon. For Smart Omega, ang interesting kasi sa makikita natin from this team is that paano nga ba nila i-gagamitin yung natutunan nila from LPE in the matchup na ginawa ng LPE sa STI Olympians kanina. Kasi ang Smart Omega men, I always feel that this is a team na nag-aaral ng kanilang mga kalaban. But for you, so far, ano ba yung sikreto ng Smart Omega? Why they are in a dominant streak in whatever league that they play in?
Well, speaking of fundamental, of course, nandun na sa kanila yan. Individually kasi talaga, sobrang lupet talaga niya. Pero I guess we have to find out kung sino yung mga featured players natin for this time around. And I guess, pinaka masasabi natin, Hayes, he's been on the league, not only on the national, even on the very first mga tournament ng Mobile Legends, nandito na yan. Household name na talaga yan dito, si Hayes. Now going against Bimo, of course, very strong on its own nature in terms of tanking, and both of the teams, pero alam mo Wolf, just to add something here, there are a lot of people na would like to see yung medyo kahawig ni Yelly Hayes sa featured players natin, and that was actually AK. Would you agree with me on that?
Yeah, I think yun na yun eh. Parang cue in yung Spider-Man meme na nagtuturoan sila, yun na yun eh.
Oo.
Pero unfortunately, I'm not entirely sure kung gagamitin na ba ni Coach Panda or the LPE Eagles squad etong si AK. I still feel that AK is a player na kaya niya talaga makipagsabayan. I've seen this guy play sa mga streams niya, and even as a team, ang taas din ng points niyan, Rob. Actually, last time, alam ko 2K, yung huli kong kita siya.
2K?
That was the last season. Tapos, ito yung kwento kanina na medyo naudlot. There was a time na sobrang sorry AK, kukwento ko pero kasi nagkaroon ng interview once, Rob, na parang nandun siya si AK. Tapos na-confiscate yung smartphone niya. This was the time nung SEA Games last year. Parang yung dad niya napansin na masyado na siyang nagfo-focus sa pagmo-Mobile Legends na hindi na siya nakakapag-aral or hindi man nakapag-focus masyado sa Tekken, yung main game niya. It's a funny story though. I mean, we know this kid. He is dedicated sa Tekken, pero may time lang talaga na kinailangang i-confiscate yung smartphone niya. Dahil kakalaro niya. Naalala ko that day, man, ang sobrang funny kasi nung nilabas niya yung phone niya, it wasn't a smart. Ano ba yung phones of 10 years ago na wala, pan-text lang talaga.
Yung parang pangkadkad ng yellow yung mga mga texture. Yeah, I totally agree. Well, of course, you have to focus on something in order to be tingin ko naman in terms on the specific game na sinabi mo, wala na kailangang patunayan doon si AK. Pero this is a total different game, total different genre. Of course, this is Mobile Legends. And yeah, I would really like to see him actually play on the bigger stage dito sa LPE. Pero now, LPE here, Wolf, mapapansin natin dito, they already banned the Selena wherein ito yung nagpasakit ng ulo sa kanila during their first series against SPI eOlympians na ginamit ni Dian. And still, LPE is not really open talaga in terms of the Benedetta pick, and for Smart Omega, banning of course the Lunox. No, medyo nagbabago na rin talaga yung setup ng meta natin in terms of the banning. Ang dami nang na-open dito. Pero I think gaya ng sabi mo, the Triple B, mukhang ito yung mga talagang top bans talaga all throughout. Mukhang hindi tayo makakita ng Brody, Benedetta, and even the Barats here on the bigger stage. Well, meron yatang isang game na merong Barats, and I think medyo na-counter din yon that time, and I have to see to remember that game.
I think that there are answers to the Barats, pero hindi ganoon kadami, and ang hirap pa rin talagang i-manage ng isang Barats when playing up against the Barats. But I think that eventually that's a hero na kailangan nang isolve ng mga teams natin yan. You know, ang nagugulat ako sa The Nationals is bakit hindi tayo nakita masyado ng Natalia na picks even when they're available. That's really what is, I feel, na one of the stronger heroes in the meta. But we're not seeing that. Siguro ang Smart Omega pa magpakita na, because we do know that they do play with that. Ngayon, combination ng Smart Omega, it's Heath and Hayes.
Yes.
Rob, does this mean na tapos na ang experimental stage ng Omega, na they might feel that Hayes is back, na kailangan na ba siyang gamitin na sa Phosphor, or is there any strategy behind this?
Well, I don't think na tapos na. Kasi Toshi kasi, di ba, the usual side lane na nagsasalitan in the other tournaments in terms of the Omega squad is actually Kenji and Curtisi. Pero now, binalik nila yung parehas na timpla ng support and tank. Of course, that's Heat, the double H. Or rather, the triple H, dahil kasama doon si Haji. Pero yung side lane nila, it was actually Kenji still staying and Curtisi. Now, ang ginawa kasi nila on the previous one is that yung pinabalik nila yung pagiging marksman ni Toshi, wherein hindi yon gumana sa Bren E Pro. Though gumana siya on the first two series, pero against one of their rival as of the moment was actually Bren, hindi nga nila na-penetrate yung prowess nitong team na ito. Pero I think Smart Omega still trying or testing the water here on the national. Pero kasi alam mo yung napaka-slight nung mga change of roles, and ito tingin ko this is like ano na to parang a championship type of roster na pinapakita sa atin ng Smart Omega. And coming from a loss kanina for LPE, mukhang gusto na nilang pumalag dito on the early. Medyo early game yata ang type of drafting dito, no? Ng Eagles Wolf.
That's right. Okay, well, you talked about drafting. Sige, mag-comment ako sa mga openers dito ng para sa teams because I really like it a lot. First, Jawhead obviously isang pick ng Eagles na they really respect kasi parang it opens up a lot. Now, para sa Smart Omega, kung mapapansin mo, Rob, available ang Yuzong, ang Alice, ang Uranus, and yung tatlong heroes sa sobrang lakas sa side lanes. But Smart Omega, actually, kinuha lang nila isa doon sa tatlo na yon and then went in for a flexible pick, which is the Farsa. This tells us na ang Smart Omega ayaw nilang makita agad ng kalaban yung kanilang mga strategies even when the big ticket offlaners are available. Just like what Eagles did kanina, di ba? Doon sila nayari kasi alam na yung Alice at yung Yuzong ang gagamitin ng Eagles. So, but open na agad yung side lanes. Now, I want to say though, with Eagles, this Khalid and Jawhead, it kind of tells me na open sila individually, but if you pick them all together already, masasabi mo na, tank Jawhead na to at side lane Khalid to. So that kind of tells me na medyo hindi ko siya gusto. Now, my question for you, Sir Rob, is what is this Hilda, what is the strength of the Hilda and Farsa combo against a Lancelot? Do you actually prefer the Hilda this time? Kasi parang I think na ang lakas niya mang-invade but it might not be enough against Lancelot, or what do you feel about this?
Yeah, I get what you mean, no? Pero ang parang usual kasi, no, na ginagawa talaga nila in terms of the Hilda is that pang-invade. Kasi basically kasi ang gagawin na dito ng Eagles was gonna be invading, of course. Si Bibo gagamit dito ng Jawhead. And somehow, as we've been seeing a lot of games coming from Smart Omega, this is a favorite hero to ni Hit. Even on the playstyle itself, ganito yung mga gusto niya. Yung talagang they actually going deep into the base ng kanilang kalaban and together with Yell Haze. Given that this is a Farsa, na pwede siyang palipat-lipat lang. Nakita na natin si Haze using this hero. Kumbaga, ang ginagawa niya lang is clearing the wave, going in, nag-i-invade sila. Pero, in terms kung gusto ko ba against dito sa side ng Eagles, it might be not kasi kaya siyang i-burst down in terms of the heroes na nakalabas ngayon for the side of the Eagles. Pero ang pinaka-point of naman talaga ng isang Hilda is just to provide vision and of course to zone out during the early stages of the game. And of course, habang lalo na mabibigyan ng time dito si Haji, si whatever core na kanyang piliin. I was actually leaning into a Ling na for sure na baka gamitin dito for Smart Omega. What do you think? What's gonna be the core kaya dito? Or rather, Binan. So tingin ko yun yung pinaka pero it might be a different story nga for Smart Omega.
Well, when it comes to the core, sobrang open. I think that they might choose the Yisun Shin actually. It's the parang ganun yung pwedeng maging tema for Smart Omega kasi what else do we have when it comes to like an assassin me? Hayabusa pwede rin consider. I love the Valier. I think yung Eagles nakalimutan nila na kailangan nilang i-ban itong Valier na to. Kasi it really is strong against their heroes. Napakaganda niya laban sa Khalid. I think that Valier makes Khalid unplayable talaga eh. Yeah.
Yes. This is a Farsa side lane.
Yes.
Would you agree with me if is it possible for like a Harit for this one? Pero it's gonna be risky kasi medyo early yun ang literal na early game centric type of lineup na kailangan nilang ipanalo talaga yung early game whenever you get a core Harit.
I think you might be right. I think you might be right actually. Harith will make a lot of sense now for Smart Omega. And now for Eagles, they opted for Sicilian. I don't like this at all, but I guess yun talaga yung tema for Eagles. Gusto nila na may late game presence pa rin sila. Yuzhong, it's okay. Now Busen, I think Lunox would have been perfect for for Eagles, pero ang ganda ng coverage ng Smart Omega, binan agad nila yon. Now, looking at this for Smart Omega, I think you're right. Harith could be good. Or siguro Yisun Shin na lang din para sa honest side. Merong konting consideration on the Hayabusa, but I feel that those two heroes that we mentioned first, yung Harith and the YSS, it might be the priority for Smart Omega.
Yes. Well, I do like Claude. Yeah, it totally makes sense. We're gonna be given a lot of physical damage coming here for Smart Omega. Yeah, well, Smart
Wow.
Omega bringing down the marksman. Kumbaga, they're actually, no, if not only the team, pero one of the teams talaga na nag-fully utilize ng mga marksman on their lineup. And slowly, no, bumabalik na rin talaga yung marksman into the drafting. Speaking with here on Smart Omega. How about you, Wolf? Would you
Yeah.
really like yung mga ganitong klase ng drafting?
Yeah, this is so open. May up for consideration pa, up for debate kung maganda na ba na i-funnel ang isang Claude. If you are confident as a team, for sure ay maganda siyang piliin. Pero kung kanto na parang is it actually a band-aid answer mula sa Smart Omega, dun mo sasabihin na pangit. But this game, Claude, I'm gonna be happy. Kung kayo maglalaro ng Claude dito, masaya. Ang talagang kakatakot ka lang is ejector, but you can actually dodge that. Right? And this is perfect for the side of Smart Omega because Claude will have a free game. Mga kaibigan, game number 1 of this best of 3 series between LPE Eagles and Smart Omega. This tournament is under the supervision and regulation of the Games and Amusements Boards. Let's go into the match na ngayon. Rob, what do you expect from the early stages? Tingin mo ba makakapag-farm itong Claude or will Lancelot actually take over in the early stages?
I'm totally thinking since there's gonna be a Claude and most likely it's on the mid lane, it's gonna be Haji's hero. So, or probably yun nga yung mangyayari doon. Ang iniisip ko kasi, no, the Yuzhong is gonna be a perfect fit together with the Khalid. Parehas may execute dito and for sure hindi gagamit ng Purify or whatnot dito ang isang mid lane na Claude kasi siya yung pinaka magiging jungler nila at the same time. So, there's a part of me that if LPE could be able to utilize their execute or ma-focus nila dito, I think the Claude could be an easy or rather very squishy dito on the early stages. Pero it's up to Haji to dodge those skills. And of course, yung Lancelot din dito, like a burst damage.
And obviously, parang ito din yung kalaban ng ng LPE kanina. It's a Uranus and Farsa combination. But this time, binubuli na nila. Now, Jake the Dog naman ang magko-control ng ating Yuzhong. Kanina, the Yuzhong nakakuha siya ng first blood but Ryota actually bullying Cartesi. This is the power of the side lane carry that we are seeing right now. At ibang parte naman ng mapa, Rob, it's actually Yelly Haze on this Valier. Sobrang solid, one of the favored na heroes. At samantala si Heath naman ay isang Hilda na really mang-i-invade lang talaga. Manggugulo lang to ng ating Lancelot.
Oo, pero
Cartesi go. Oh my goodness.
I think that was very unfortunate for Cartesi talaga. He actually went on, nabuhay na siya on the very first execute ni Ryota as well, almost 1 HP yung nakatira, nakauwi siya. Pero talagang binabahayan ni Bimo yung orange buff doon ni Haji. And that was very unfortunate nga at na-pick off pa doon yung Farsa.
Oh my goodness, Aspect actually not getting the purple buff. That's the first blood pa siya ni Heath with that flicker. And Smart Omega, kahit pa nakuhaan sila ng isang side lane kill, mas maganda ba ang kanila nakuha because that is a kill on the funnel. While for Smart Omega naman, ang move nila dito, yung Hilda and Uranus ganging up together to look for that orange buff. So parang yung Eagles natanggalan na ng purple buff dun sa kanilang carry. Nag-contest pa yata yung orange but actually Lancelot will get that. Habang si Heath naman ay binubuli lang itong si Arms. Rob, how important is this first purple buff na hindi nakuha ng Lancelot?
Malaking bagay. Kasi in terms of in rotation wise Pero I think may bawi pa naman if ever man makuha nila dito si Genji. Pero si Hita, sakto ang dating.
He's actually protecting Uranus then there. Napilitan si Jake the Dog na mag-ultimate. Genji will be taken out. Jake the Dog using his ultimate for that one. I think that's also massive. The fact na nabuhay si Aspect, I think that's good. Nagla-last din na lang dito. Tapos si GZ naman ay nakapag-farm ng kanyang sarili. Mag-isa. Heath might be in trouble or is he actually? Medyo nag-umanap siya dito against Jake the Dog and Aspect. He's actually gonna be able to retreat dun sa anyang turret. Jake the Dog and the gang will just clear out the waves and pag-take na lang ng damage doon sa outer turret enemy shields while into the orange buff of the Smart Omega squad. A bit of second one for HadGZ. Nandito na si Bimo at si Ryota bullying out HadGZ. Trying to take away this orange buff. Nandito si Kenji para protektahan din naman si HadGZ. Natry na lang ng Omega na makuha to but that is gonna be the retribution by HadGZ to take that one. Beautifully done. Go for Bimo para mag-back na lang sila doon. Rob, I think that the turtle will be for the side of Eagles.
Oo, tingin ko, well spent yun eh. Regardless nakuha doon ni Haji yung orange buff niya, tingin ko it's okay. Yung time na nakain doon nila Bimo, just being there, zoning out yung buff na yun, is naging kapalit is Turtle. Look at the gold, the difference ngayon ng Eagles and Omega. It's almost close to 3,000. And it's a total different Eagle that we're looking in right now compared to what they had on the very first series of today. And now, Eagles, parang they're playing on their best right now. Kumbaga, ito yung talagang galaw ng Eagle. The early game prowess that they had during the Happy Feet Emperors, ito na yon, Wolf.
Oh, definitely. And I like this a lot kasi parang ang ginawa ng Eagles, instead of trying to outmatch itong ating Claude, they went in for the side lanes. Yun yung in-establish na yung control. Hindi man ganun agad ang start for the Lancelot because of the kill the presence. In the end, nakapag-farm pa rin naman yung mga ibang members ng Eagles and they also got 2 kills. That's why they are now leading. They're also making it hard for GZ to farm. Little bit of a tussle in the mid lane. Nakita si Yellow Haze ito pero namang pwede sa gumamit ng flicker. Ultimate coming out from arms. But Jake Dadog sa may backlane. Si Yellow Haze is done for. Keep naman yata yung susunod na slow na nga rin with that red vision play. But Curtizy is gonna use the Farsa but it's not gonna be enough. Napakita yung Jake Dadog lang. Bimo, Curtizy in trouble. Curtizy down. And Eagles will get 3 kills in total. Ginamit yung kanilang lamang in this early stage and now they are leading by a lot. Rob,
ang linis. That was very good dahil baka ma-pick up pa rin nila dito si Haji C. Nagamit niya ng BMI. Nakaabang doon si Bino sa likod pero buti na lang nandun si Yellow just to show them off and Bimo yung siya pa yung mamamatay doon.
Punishment. Kenji might be in trouble because of this. Lancelot bad persecution sa side lanes. Yellow Haze will go down. Ryota, sacrifice hindi tatama kay Kenji pero sinihit na lang ang mapapatay. Early execute but they still get the kill nonetheless. Eagle on a roll now. Ang laki din ng lamang nila, Rob.
Ang laki.
GZ.
Definitely ang laki. This is already 3,000 and it's already halting down Haji C dito mga kaibigan. Blazing do it just to show the way. Oh my! Look at that. Ito na yung nagiging ngayon. Sagot niya doon sa tanong natin kanina, Wolf. Is this Claude have enough time para mag-scale or even provide enough damage? Lalo na napaka-squishy niya dito with 2 execute coming from the Eagles. Look at that. Kenji might actually die here, Wolf.
Yeah, let's Uranus is down sa may kanan. Yellow Haze found by Aspect once again. Ganun din yung nangyari kanina. Aspect was able to find the Hadit. At kahit nababawasan na ibang members ng Omega, they still went in for the squishier targets. I love the decision making of Aspect now. The side of Eagles. And 5,000 agad ang nilamang ng Eagles at this point. Jake the Dog bullying out Hajizi para hindi makakuha ng purple buff. Smart Omega in trouble na pipilitan silang mag-group together while Eagles are just taking everything from the map right now.
Ang kailangan talaga nila. Kailangan i-turtle talaga to ng Smart Omega. They have to fully utilize here the Farsa para hindi. Pero look at that. Going into the backlanes. Buti may tulak si Yellow Haze doon. Pero yung Torre doon sa gitna mukhang mababasag na nga din. And here, Curtizy just using the Feather Airstrike para lang hindi agad-agad sila dito mapasok. Pero ito na yung ito na yung magiging sakit ng ulo nila dito, Wolf. Yes, meron tayong Farsa dito that could be able to get the minion waves, hindi agad-agad makapag-push dito ang Eagles. Pero ang pinaka magiging point of contention dito is actually gonna be the Yuzhong. Kasi it doesn't really need minion wave dahil papasukin ka niyan sa likod given na may execute pa to. Kaya niya i-burst down dito. Like, even a lot.
My goodness, how cheesy! Gonna be bursted down, pero may punishment yata sa Lancelot. Lancelot is gonna be shut down. Yellow Haze with a good punish. But Eagles try to assert their dominance sa bottom lane. Get the turret. And that combo mula kay Arves, that's deadly. May Sanguine Claws na pwede nila i-combo with the Thorn Rose. Para gitnang-gitna talaga yung damage output ng Eagles. We questioned a little bit itong Sicilian ng Eagles, but it actually makes a lot of sense now for the Eagles. Rob, what can Omega now do? Can they capitalize on this death of the Lancelot?
Yeah, probably. Medyo konting breather para sa kanila. Pero ang pinaka talaga, yung mga front line dito, yeah, the Sicilian does make a lot of sense. Kasi parang ang libre niya lang mag-skill na nasa harap yung Khalid, nasa harap yung si Jake the Dog, usual, and even Bimo. So, hindi mapuntahan sa likod yung Sicilian.
Ooh, Kenji is gonna survive with a Silver Fell Kate. Nandito sa may gitna. Papalikin na ng mga members ng Eagles. Blazing to it. Onto Arms. Is there a punishment? Nice flicker to the right side. Para kay Arms. Makakatakas din dito si Claude. gonna be safe for now. Aspect is here. It's gonna be tricky for Omega. Hindi ba sila magstay? They will try to fight Thornrose for Aspect para madodge yung konti skill shots. Cyclone Knight to get away. Still being chased down. Nice usage of the Phantom Execution. Nag-life steal na rin si Aspect for to keep himself safe. At daming nangyaring batuan ng skills doon but nobody dies. First with the Predator Strike. Aspect still taking a lot of damage pero nakakopa rin siya ng purple buff. Heath cannot stop this at all. Ryota, nakita niya dito si Heath. But the members of Omega, hindi na muna sila lalaban. Bimbo actually trying to go for the ejector play but far too late. Haze gets out.
Kailangan talaga Wolf to. I-hold talaga to ng Smart Omega. Pero grabe, Bimbo with another ejector dito, ladies and gentlemen. Blazing duet ni Haji.
Finally, Arms goes down. Ryota in trouble. Pero meron pa siyang quicksand guard. Tingnan natin kung kailan gagamitin. Not enough. Time to go for Heath. Heath survives. Aspect to the right, to the left side. At GC still chasing. Kumang BMI. May bars pa Thornrose. Pero hindi kinulang double kill para kay GC. This is bad for the Eagles. Natuloy na pa tayo. But the punishment onto GC with an execute. Wala kay Jake the Dog. Wonderful. Unstoppable force usage. Wala doon kay Bimo. Punishment was there. Little bit of breathing room para sa Omega. Jake the Dog trying to survive this. Against 3, kahit sobrang taas ng farm mo, baka hindi mo kayanan. Even when they're used up, but the sustain is there! Bimo trying to turn this around. With the help of Jake the Dog, dinedepensahan talaga nila yung kanilang mid lane. May cannon, nakaunti na lang yung buhay, and that's it. Defense for Eagles as they won't lose any turret from that engagement.
Well played yon, Wolf, para kay Jake the Dog and as well with Bimo. Kasi kung hindi nila napatay doon, number 1 si Haji, that is a potential lord for the side of Smart Omega. And given yung ginagawa nilang pag-show up, wala rin na-accomplish. Yes, namatay yung tatlong members dito ng Eagles, pero Smart Omega didn't even accomplish anything from that position dahil namatay si Haji and they actually tried to kill yung Yuzhong, and from there, parang nasayang yung breather na naibigay sa kanila, yung opportunity na yon from the Eagles.
We'll see if the Eagles will utilize naman yung ganun. But Arms needs to be careful now. Ryota on the middle of the fight. Si Kenji naman nabal si Arms, but Arms will survive. Bad feast para din makapag-sustain. Ryota will go for the quicksand guard. Matala si Jake the Dog looking for an angle. Heath actually spotting Jake the Dog out. Kenji just spacing out the members of Eagles. Habang nagpa-fire naman si Anilio dito sa may kaliwa. Try to go for the blazing duet at retribution play para makuha yung purple buff play. Ryota in trouble. Ryota goes down. GZ punishes that one out. And what? A kill on the Lancer. This is bad for the Eagles. Dalawaan na patay. Omega slowly inching their way to cut this deficit.
Indeed.
Eagles built.
Wolf, indeed, this is a very bad news para sa side ng Eagles. Slowly, nakakabawi dito Smart Omega. They were already on almost 8,000 deficit earlier. Ngayon, it's been slimmed down to 3,000, and Haji, nagkakaroon na siya, nagiging libre na, nararamdaman mo na yung damage niya dito with the items, and this might be a potential na Lord para sa kanila. Mukhang makukuha nga yata nila to Wolf.
Kung haka-respawn pa lang din dito ni Ryota at si Aspect a few seconds more, they will have to walk their way towards the Lord, pero konti na lang yung buhay. Retribution could be there. Where is it? The Lord will be taken by the Claude. Bimo in trouble. Bimo, mababuhay pa ba? Ang rin yung tumakas, blazing to it to cancel that one out. They're trying to ultra GC, but GC gets out of the BMI. May na-kill pa dito on the Jawhead. Jake the Dog in trouble as well. Slow down. Pinapaligiran ng 4 na members ng Omega. Tinatry niyang mag-survive. Kaya ba niya? He's trying to survive, but can be shut down. Oh my goodness. Smart Omega, what a comeback. And yung 8k deficit nga na sinabi mo, Rob, it's nothing now.
It's definitely nothing. This is a 1,000 still lead from the Eagles, but this is a Lord. 2-man down for the side of the Eagles. And the Claude, kung mapapansin mo, nandun na siya sa batang gitna, hindi pa na-burst down dito ng Eagles. And how will they be able to come back from this position? The Eagles draft were supposed to win an early to mid game. They've done that. They've got their power spike. Pero sudden flip na nangyari dito, Smart Omega just showing yung experience na meron sila as a team, Wolf.
It seems like it. Mukhang ganun nga kasi tama yung targets na ginaw nila mga later stages of the game na. So, dalawang outer turret na nawala. Dalawang second tier turret. Nakuha ng Smart Omega, isa na lang yung outer turret ng Eagles. Well, technically speaking, this is an inner turret. Yung tier 2 turret po sa Mobile Legends is what we call the inner turret. Yeah, so that's only one for Eagles right now. Even na rin, tig-5 turrets na nakuha na para sa teams. And even if you look at the gold, it's actually in favor of the Smart Omega squad now. The comeback is real. Ang tanong, Rob, will Eagles be able to utilize yung kanilang hero for this late game? Kaya ba na Sicilian at ng Yuzhong to? Because Lancelot, hindi na ganun kalakas in the late stage.
Indeed. Well, I mean, the Lancelot, kumbaga nagkakaroon talaga ng parang point of ano yan na parang hanggang doon lang yung kanyang power spike. Pero of course, there's this kind of thing, yung may ejector doon from hit. They could potentially do still this, Wolf, if they're able to pin down, of course, dito si Haji. Pero kung mapapansin mo, sobrang dulas. I mean, yung BMI ni Haji, ang hirap niyang hulihin, and given yung mga front line niya dito is providing him a lot of vision. Pero ito na, pasok dito si Jake the Dog sa likod.
They really love to take Cartesi. Jake the Dog, kumakuha niya yung kill na yun with the execute play. Not even an execute usage dito. Will he be punished? He's being controlled by Kenji as well. Pero dito sa may bandang kita, pinapalilapan. Aspect versus GC, and GC wins it! And may buha pa sila kill onto Bimo. While Omega are running down the members of Eagles. The Arch trying to survive, but the Sicilian can survive against 3. At yun na nga, Omega runs down Eagles. 3 for the price of 1.
Yeah.
Rob, sinacrifice sila yung Farsa, but this is a much better cause for Omega.
Definitely. They could have done it for Had GC, pero I think Jake the Dog realized that he could be able to bring down doon for GC, pero the cost is very costly nga dahil dito, mukhang Smart Omega, the stables have turned indeed, Wolf.
Oh my goodness, and that's a wipeout. Sakto pa rin, mag-respawn na si Curtizi. And only Bimo as well as Arvs to defend here. And papupoy na rin si Aspect, and Omega actually will respect this. 35 seconds before the Lord respawns. Tignan natin kung ang Smart Omega ba ay maghintay nun or they try to take the pickups. And Smart Omega, knowing this as an very systematic team, Rob, mukhang maghintay pa talaga sila ng kanilang chance para kumuha ng Lord.
They don't want to risk it. I mean, ang hirap nung ginawang defense kanina ng Smart Omega coming from the deficit na yon. And now they are on the lead. They are the one who sets the tempo ngayon here on going into the late game, or rather on the late game. Kaya na, nandito na yung Luminous Lord. And it's gonna be very hard para rin naman sa side dito ng Eagles to contest the Lord here. It's either palalabasin nila si Jake the Dog and somehow a lucky retribution magagaling from Aztec, pero hindi na yata hihintayin ng Smart Omega ang Lord.
Bimo had to use the flicker as well as the conceal coming out from the Shadow Mask.
Oo.
At ang daming commitment noon para lang mabuhay. And now, Omega, they're feeling confident. Look at the damage output by GC. Pero sabi niya dito, laban na lang muna. Nakita niya si Ryota sa may kaliwa. Jake the Dog is here to defend against that GC. But that GC, advanced play. BMI to the left side this time. Babalik pa siya doon. Sabi Claus, masyado maaga. In comes the Raging Sandstorm defensively. Blazing going! Ryota goes down. Delis kata si Bimo dito using the unstoppable force in bad spots. Bimo is gonna go down. A double kill para kay GC. Farsa with the feather like slowing Aspect para sakto mahuli siya ng Omega. And this is trouble for the Eagles. Only 2 to defend, but the base will not survive. Omega takes game 1.
That was Had GC. Perfect positioning, Wolf. O papansin mo, he actually made a mistake going in a BMI doon sa gitna. And nandun din si Aspect, the Lancelot was waiting for him. Ang ginawa niya, hindi siya bumalik kasi inaabangan na siya doon sa kay Dexter, yung kanya mismong BMI. What he actually did, he actually went deeper into the base. Binlock niya yung minion wave, then he goes down, and sakto, nagsama-sama na doon dahil hinahabol na nila doon yung Claude. A perfect blazing duet sa likod, and it's all history for the side of the Eagles. It's a very good run. Indeed, early to mid game, it's all about the Eagles, pero this is still a very well-experienced team. And yeah, they're just showing us who is a better team in terms of decision making. Smart Omega, props to them. Had GC, he actually played it all throughout. Yung ano niya persistence niya dito, Wolf, is actually even resilience, lahat na ng pwedeng adjective na pwedeng ibigay dito kay Haji, kulang pa. Dahil sobrang ganda ng performance niya dito on this game.
I want to say, Smart Omega, they did play it perfectly nung pagbangon na nila. But, talagang nakita mo nag-struggle sila in the early stages. Ang question ko sa'yo, Rob, is this just more about the draft? Kaya naman talaga lumamang yung Eagles. Alam ba ng Omega na talagang lugi sila sa early? Kaya hinayaan lang nila. Tapos, nung nakahanap sila ng opening, doon na sila lumaban. Is it as simple as that, Rob?
quite there is a yes and no. I mean, it was actually a yes for me na in terms of the draft. I think Eagles could potentially be to close up this game. Kaso nagkaroon sila ng part going into the late game na it was actually BMO trying to eject someone from Omega. Kumbaga they're trying to get a pick off from there. Kaso nga lang ang nangyayari dito na micro sinabi na natin Smart Omega, very fundamental type of team na doon nila nilaro yung ginagawa ng LPE, wherein the LPE could just choke. Kumbaga wag nilang palabasin si Haji. Kumbaga the only minion, or rather may ibang mga teams na ginagawa nila, hindi nila mismo inaano yung minion waves para lang hindi makapag-farm yung core nung kalaban. Pero yeah, that's a bit
freeze
said.
muna, di ba? Oh, well, we'll see sa highlights, Rob, kung paano nga ba nag-build up ng momentum ang LPE Eagles at paano din nawala. Like this first blood, and continuously Aspect, nahirapan siya sa early stages, pero eventually, nakabawi rin siya talaga with the help of his teammates. And early game, guys, if you missed that match kanina at ngayon lang kayo nanonood, magugulat kayo dahil yung performance talaga ng Eagles was really commendable in the early stages. Actually, Rob, can you remind everyone kung kailan nga ba talaga nagkaroon ng control na ulit ang Omega as we're watching the highlights?
I think it was during the method. Ito yung part, rather we're not still on the part. I think that was sometime around 11 to 12 minute mark wherein pinipilit na nila na magkumuha ng pick up dito on the side of the Smart Omega. Pero all throughout dito mapapansin mo even with the dun sa mga turtle fight, it was all about the Eagles. And hirap dito yung Smart Omega. Even Haji at some point hindi niya na makuha yung buff niya kasi totally na binablock na rito. Pero ang nangyari kasi dito sa sobrang pilit minsan ng pag-pick off nila, napupunta sila into awkward position na natutulak sila dito ni Yelly Hayes. Then, like, katulad dito, Ryota was actually in the middle of the members here ng Smart Omega. And para silang napapaisa-isa. Kung mapapansin mo, this is a 5v4 and look at Jake the Dog. Ang dami na nangyari noon. Ngayon pa lang siya dito makakadating. And from there, nakabangon dito ang Smart Omega. Rather, ito pala, the 11-minute mark.
This is it. And Lord Take, syempre, hindi enough para sa Eagles yung timing para dito, syempre. And GC, when he enters, kahit pa na-combo na siya dito, na BMI na handa to get out. And Eagles was just able to, Omega, was just able to run them down. Tuloy-tuloy. Ito na sana you would understand, you know what, kahit namatay doon si Aspect, i-comment mo kung ano yung idea na gusto niyang gawin. It's just that the execution wasn't perfect. But yun na lang talagang kailangan mong gawin eh. You need to make that gamble para at least may chance kayo na ma-turn around. Kahit matalo kayo, at least you tried. Unfortunately, Omega was the more fundamentally sound team. Mas kalmado sila. Mas alam nila kung paano tapusin yung laban. And Omega eventually took this game out of what? A big deficit of 8,000? I'm not sure. Yun yung pinakamataas na lead nila.
It is. Around 8,000 lead from the Eagles going in. Pero yes, of course, Wolf, this is undeniably the MVP of the game, of course, had GZ on the clock with KDA of 11.25, kill participation 89%. This is very high. Given na kailangan niya mag-farm, pero he's actually being very active din. And naging malaking parte din talaga siya ng pag-comeback eh. Ang daming beses na sinubukan siyang hulihin ni BMO, even with Aspect. Pero sa sobrang, sabihin na nating malapalos o magaslaw na paglalaro niya dito ng Claude, that's actually a headache na binigay niya for the LPE squad. And yeah, props to Haji. Grabe performance siya talaga. Hands down for the Claude performance.
Ooh. The KDA machine, di ba? Tawag na sa kanila.
KDA machine.
Man, but what a wonderful comeback coming out from Smart Omega. But don't worry, guys. Game 1 pa lang yan ng ating best of 3 series. LPE so far, ganda na sana talaga na kanilang simula dito sa laban. Let's see if there will be improvements come game number 2. Mamaya yan. After this break. Kita-kits. The Nationals will be back. Back to the Nationals para sa pangalawang laban ng ating best of 3 series between LPE Eagles and the Smart Omega team. My name is Wolf, your caster. Kasama ko si Rob Luna, ang ating analyst for today. Rob, man, that was an interesting game. Napakabilis na recap ang kailangan namin sa'yo from that game number 1. Ano nga bang nangyari sa laban na yun?
Ang nangyari sa laban na yun, it was LPE's game to lose. Kasi fundamentally nga, kanila talaga early to mid game, sobrang na-choke out na nila. It was only Haji on the turnaround. Pero yun nga, yung tinanong mo sa akin kanina before we actually head on to the second match here, is that saan ba yung parte na nakabangon dito ang Smart Omega? And that was around 10 to 11 minute mark wherein nag 4v5 ang naging laban doon ng LPE versus SMO sa gitna. For the reason na susubukan doon ni Bibo na mag-ejector, or rather may pinapasok sila onto the backlanes. And of course, medyo malayo si Jake the Dog. And from there, nakabangon, medyo kalahati yung kalamangan doon ng LPE. Tapos in a result na nakakuha din as well, I think, ng Lord from that specific skirmish or rather team fight. Then after nun, may mga part na in terms of who's gonna be the right target para sa side ng LPE, and it was actually Jake the Dog going very deep sa backlines dito ng Smart Omega, trying to pick off, and we're in. Sabi mo nga kanina, sinacrifice nila, nakuha mo yung Farsa, yes, pero libreng-libre naman si Haji to be able to take down the rest of the members dito ng LPE.
Man, Rob Luna, medyo role-playing muna tayo ngayon. Kunwari, ikaw na si Coach Panda or nasa coaching staff ka ngayon ng LPE. Imagine this,
bababa ko lang yung buhok kasi si Coach Panda medyo ganun yung hairstyle niya. Saka may kulay din yun, yung buhok.
Sakto. Kaka 0-2 mo lang in a close match na may mga times na pwede kang manalo. Tapos itong game 1 nyo laban sa isang malupit na team, panalo na dapat, natalo pa. Paano mo ngayon kakausapin yung mga teams? Ano yung mga i-remind mo sa kanila para makabalik kayo sa groove come game number 2?
I think of course, syempre, Coach Panda, well-seasoned coach. So, wala sa factor niya yung parang sisihan moments eh. And basically, the rest of the members, the rest of the players ng LPE did definitely well. Kumbaga, nagawa nila yung right assignments nila in the early game. It was just yung closing the game, or rather going into the late game, medyo nagkaroon sila ng choke moments. Pero siguro ang pinaka if I were gonna be Coach Panda, we have kumbaga polish lang. Kumbaga, at yun yung naging mistake natin. Let's try to minimize it, or rather kung completely tanggalin na natin siya going here on the second match. And definitely pwedeng, to be honest, pwede nga nilang ulitin yung formula na ginawa nila on the game number 1. It's just that polish kung paano nila isasarado yung laro. And of course, for the players, sobrang devastating nun, Wolf, kasi they almost had it, and they're going against potentially, or rather the second best team here ngayon sa liga, or rather one of the best teams dahil pareha sila ng points ng Brand E-Pro, and to be able to come up into a point na halos matalo na nila yung Smart, and that's good news given na medyo hindi rin naging maganda yung performance nila against STIE Olympians on the very first series. So I think ngayon papunta dito sa second game, we've done enough. We've done everything we could. Medyo kinulang, minimize natin yung mistake, and now going to here, parang best of 1 na lang ang dating natin dito. One game at a time. Kalimutan na natin yung tatlong matches natin kanina. We'll just try to relearn it afterwards nitong araw na to. Pero now, let's focus here on this specific match.
Well said, well said. Tingnan natin kung paano nga ititreat ito ng Eagles. But for Omega, come on, they're feeling it. Kung ikaw naman yung naglaro na parang talo na, tas nanalo pa, for sure, sobrang taas ng confidence mo, Kantino.
Yeah.
Look at this,
definitely.
Barats and Lunox, this was the same set of bans para sa Smart Omega. Lunox, man, tinanong mo ko kanina nito no game number nung una nating series, and I said it's all about flex pick, but for you, in your opinion, bakit prayo ban ito ng Smart Omega?
Well, you did answer this earlier, so I could just mimic what you've said. Well, it's like a Chonga, di ba? Parang siya sobrang flexi pick niya. You can definitely put him on the mid lane as a support, or most of the time, players or pro players actually tend to use it on the side lane. And given this is a mage, na they could, ang bilis na minion wave clear, not only that, is that ang dami din yan toolkit that could give a lot of emphasis. Pwede nating i-emphasize yung pinaka early game, at ang laki nang naibibigay niya sa team where kahit sa ang draft, pwede mo siyang isingit. Pero ayaw ng Smart Omega ng ganon. And given that LPE here is tend to draft on the early game, that's most likely a no-brainer na kukunin nila if ever that's gonna be open. Pero ngayon, Wolf, I think ang magiging sagot ngayon dito, this is a Selena ni or rather, it's not gonna be Curtisi, it's a Wave. Isa to sa mga kilala natin ng mga Selena plays. It's coming from Hayes.
Definitely Hayes as Hayes special. Pero sabi mo nga, it might be picked by other players here for the side of Omega, particularly kay Hayes. I'm actually looking at the player tags dito, and it seems like same as from the previous game ang mga maglalaro today for Smart Omega. So tala for the Eagles, it's also the same. Jake the Dog, Ryota Aspect, Arms and Bimo. The double, magkalahi yata to if I'm not mistaken. Esmeralda and Khalid. Let's talk about Esmeralda. Is it still one of the OP heroes, Rob? At ano pa yung strengths and weaknesses nitong hero na to na first pick ng Eagles?
Yeah, well, definitely still on the meta, of course. And kaya niyang mag-hold kasi. Ginamit na rin to kanina ng Eagles We're in on the I think that was on their match against STI eOlympians. Yung Esmeralda nila doon, though hindi masyadong nag-shine, pero at the same time, hindi rin siya basta-bastang na-penetrate. Kumbaga, you have a very strong side lane agad-agad on this specific hero na alam mo na hindi mo kailangan problemahin. In terms ngayon sa nagiging meta natin, as long as your side lane is very, kumbaga, yung hindi mo matibag, kumbaga, magiging magaan yung galaw yung trio mo or trio mo sa gitna kasi anywhere they could potentially go on the top lane, go on the bottom lane as long as those heroes hindi basta-bastang na nababasag yung tore nila or napapasok, magiging madali yung full rotation or execution ng strategy ng specific team na yon. And am I looking at here correctly? Meron ba tayong octopus na nakikita?
God!
It was actually pig, right?
It is. Mukhang wala
Captain Jack Sparrow.
Bane.
Well, this is a Smart Omega hero, to be honest. We've seen this I think a couple of metas ago. I think ginagamit din talaga nila to Pero this is very interesting. And given itong ganitong klase mahirap din tong pasukin kahit sa side lane kasi yung minion wave clear niya. Or do we actually have technical something? We'll have to find out, ladies and gentlemen. Pero I'm excited. If yung Bane gagamitin dito, this is gonna be a very first of many. I think matagal ko nang hindi nakikita tong hero na to on the pro scene.
I was kind of remembering kung ano nga ba yung time na nakakita tayo ng Bane. It was used as a counter, if I'm not mistaken, against Harith pa yata. Ang daming beses niya nagamit in the previous national season. Pero this is around November last year, to 2019. Ginagamit siya on the side lanes naman. There was one time na nakita tayo ng funnel na Bane at natalo yata yun, Rob, if I'm not mistaken. At it kind of tells me na baka remake yan. This might be just a
probably, oo. Hindi pa payag si Captain Jack Sparrow na may andyan yung kalaban niya Kasi if ever ang Captain Jack Sparrow natin, most likely gonna be si Roger. Siya yung pinakamalapit Tapos kalaban niya si Bane. Wow. Bring back memories. Pero, well, anyway, going here, ano nga ba yung naging pick dito ng side ng LPE? It was actually Esmeralda and the Khalid. Would you think the Khalid gonna be on the side lane? Are we seeing the same type of draft na ginawa ni Coach Panda during the Alice and as well with the Yuzhong na sa STI eOlympians? Or will gonna be the Khalid kaya para siyang tank?
No? I think you still leave it open na lalong ang mga heroes katulad ng Lunox, katulad ng Khalid, katulad ng Farsa, you never really know until tapos na yung mismong draft. Kasi yun naman yung nature nun Gusto mo yung kalaban mo ay 2-3 pa yung iniisip. Parang you want it to be as flex as possible. Kasi I've been working with a lot of teams at lagi natin sinasabi na mas masaya mag-draft talaga kapag mas open kayo, di ba? Kasi mapapaisip talaga yung kalaban and makapag-adjust ka. Now,
malaking bagay din talaga yung drafting That's one of the reason then as well what sa mga nakausap ko rin ng mga players na they don't wanna think about the draft anymore. Specifically lalo na pagka kumbaga yung first game mo natalo kayo, yung second game mo, alam mo yung isipin mo na yung nangyari on the first game, at the same time, iisipin mo pa kung ano yung kailangan yung baguhin on a break, like 5 to 10 minute break or rather 15, para lang ma-counter nyo yung nangyari. And that's a heavy emphasis talaga sa mga coaches na sila yung mismong they actually see through. Kumbaga, before actually mag-start pa lang, tinitignan nila kung paano yung magiging execution. If it doesn't work, dapat alam mo na rin kagad kung paano mo ka-counterin. And yeah, props of course to every coaches, of course, ng mga teams. Ang laking bagay nung naibibigay. And I think it's a good thing din, no, na nagkakaroon na talaga tayo ng mga heavy emphasis on coaches. Kasi yung drafting, ang saya, ako sobrang masaya yung feeling ko whenever I get nape-predict ko yung mga pwedeng hero na gamitin ng mga players. That only says that, well, we're doing our job, na alam natin yung setup ng meta. And like what you've said kanina, in terms of drafting, dapat lagi mong bibigyan ng 2 to 3. Kumbaga, it's like a chess match, no?
Yeah.
Na parang you have to think 2 to 3 steps ahead of your opponent in order for you to gain that advantage during the drafting phase.
I think funny enough, si Coach Dale and Coach Panda, they were one of the first ones actually sa buong Mobile Legends scene here in the Philippines. I wanna go back. Tingnan mo to nung 2018, end of 2018, nag-champion ang sorry, it was last year actually. 2019, nag-champion ang team called Archangel under the supervision of Coach Panda. And nung season na yon, Rob, may story talaga eh. Meron siyang isang papel na pinrepare niya against a specific team. Meron silang 51 draft 51 draft patterns. Ganon. Wow! Ganon karami kasi na-pick niya eh.
Para sa lahat ng hero, well, those were the heroes coming from the meta itself. Kumbaga, parang sinasabi mo sa akin, Wolf, na pagka binan yung Lunox, binan yung Yuzhong, binan yung Benedetta, ganito yung magiging style ng mga heroes yan.
Exactly. 51 na ganun ka in-depth si Panda noong time na yun. And then obviously Coach Dale coaching for the longest time itong Omega squad na to. They haven't been champions, pero Rob, last year sa Southeast Asian Games, it was actually Coach Dale na specifically nag-draft sa championship run ng Team Cignal. Di ba sila pa yung magkasama
yan? I agree. Magkasama nga pala sila on the Cignal team. And our gold medalists, of course, both coaches. And it's funny. It's fun to see na they're gonna going against toe-to-toe ngayon dito on the Nationals, Wolf.
Yeah, man. A lot of things na gusto pa natin pag-usapan, and we really would love to see the game itself. Pero mukhang kailangan muna natin mag-take ng maikling break. When we come back, guys, it's definitely game number 2 of this best of 3 series. Don't go away because the Nationals will be back. Back in action for the Nationals, the biggest and first franchise-based league here in the Philippines. We're featuring Mobile Legends sa season natin ngayon. My name is Wolf, your caster, with Rob Luna, the analyst. Rob, we a little bit of a break game number 2, pero mukhang same pa rin naman yung mga bans natin. No pain. No pain.
No pain. Na tayo doon, na-jubated tayo doon. I really thought na makikita natin yung kalaban ni Jack Sparrow, pero hindi pa sa ngayon. But I think the Ling still, this is a Haji flavor.
Naka-mute pa yata si Rob. I like this pick coming out from the Eagles. They went in to secure yung kanilang Valier. Kasi Valier actually answers the Khalid and the Esmeralda in a way, at tatanggalin nila yan mula sa laban. However, Smart Omega, Rob, how strong is this? Tignan mo Hilda, this is signature para kay Heath. Etong Selena para kay Casey. How scary is this? Comfort zone.
Yeah, first of all, sorry sa mute ko kanina. Pero gusto ko lang sabihin, of course, though kanina, na medyo hindi naging maganda yung start off dito na Smart Omega, but they tend to pick still the Hilda. Kasi nagawa pa rin naman niya yung trabaho niya during the early stage ng laro, na mang-invade, manggulo, and just to disrupt everything na gustong gawin ng Eagles on their respective na mga buffs. And ang pinakamaganda talaga dito for the side of the Smart Omega is that they have here yung Selena ni Hayes. And of course, etong league na to, household na to. Ito yung mga hero na talagang mapapansin mo. Well, yung Claude kanina was a very old flavor for GC. Pero Ling, Lancelot, Roger, when name it, kayang-kayang gamitin talaga yan ni Haji Z. Pero meanwhile here naman, no, Wolf for the Eagles, they do have here, this looks like gonna be a side lane Khalid and as well with Esmeralda. Pero like what you've said, magandang sagot yung Valier para sa kanila dito.
Yeah. I'm feeling that Eagles are... Sila naman yung nakaka-feel, no? Alam mo yung parang signature na gusto nilang gawin. They're feeling more comfortable now. 1-1. Coming out from the Eagles. Wow, this is great against tanks. It's siyang hero na may chance siya na i-outplay yung Ling. It's also great against your Selena in many ways dahil meron siyang anti-crowd control. That also is true for Valier. So may pang-cleanse dito ang Eagles sa kanilang mga na-control ng Smart Omega. But Eagles, went in for the 1-1. How can Smart Omega actually answer this role with their last 2 picks?
Well, the most common answer gonna be for the 1-1. Of course, if ever pwede mo siyang tangkin kagad or rather get a pick off onto the backlane, magiging trabaho na yan definitely ni Haji na pasukin sa likod agad-agad. They could potentially looking here on the ban. Well, the Yuzhong is a good pick sana kung hindi iyon na ban ng Eagles. Pero it looks like na sasabayan nila. You have your marksman, then ito rin sagot, Wolf. Marksman din kami.
Oh, okay.
This is very interesting.
Fight fire with fire. Ginawa na to ng Smart Omega Rob against Brand E-Pro and it was successful in its first try. If I'm not mistaken, Ling nga din yung pinner up nila doon. But this is, wala si Toshi this time for Smart Omega. Yun lang siguro yung medyo nakapagtaka dito. Parang Toshi is the traditional marksman but Smart Omega gonna be picking up still itong Bruno natin. And then Eagles gonna pair it up with the Ling. So it's still Ling, Lancelot. So Lancelot versus Ling, 1-1 versus the versus the Bruno. Man, anong mangyayari dito sa ating game? Who do you think is favored sa ating laban na to?
Well, for me, kumbaga, in terms of early in scaling, I will definitely go for a Smart Omega. It is an easier, team composition na gamitin during the early stages of the game. Meron sila ditong Hilda na pang frontline and of course pang disrupt. Kasi ang 1-1 kasi is gonna be, mararamdaman mo lang definitely ang isang 1-1 whenever he actually has 2 core items. Of course, corrosion, kadalasan yun yung pinakaunang item yan. Then secondary item, probably DHS or some other items kung kinakailangan niya na mag-Wind of Nature, mga ganitong klase ng bagay. Pero that was gonna go around 6 to 9 minute mark before you actually, given na maganda pa yung farming ng 1-1 dito. Pero ang magiging sagot naman dito ng LPE Wolf is actually their Lancelot. Kumbaga, siya yung magba-block off muna on the early game habang nagsiscale, habang nagpa-farm dito yung 1-1. We've seen tournaments or rather even on the grand finals on a different tournament sa ibang bansa like Indonesia na yung 1-1 nakakapagbaliktad talaga ng laro. And given merong Hilda rito ang Smart Omega, dito niya kukunin yung kanyang mark para magamit niya yung crossbow of tank and of course with the proper positioning and of course targeting, pwede mong gamitin yun sa ibang mga heroes or the squishy lineup dito sa side lane ng or rather back lanes pala dito ng Smart Omega.
We'll find out kung paano nga ba i-execute ng para sa teams yung kanilang double core setup or meron na silang jungler sa mid na usually ay funnel pero hindi na to funnel carry kasi technically speaking dalawa yung binibigyan mo ng farm ng priority. We'll find out how both teams will utilize this as a very exciting Game 2 of Best of 3 series between SMO and LPE is about to commence. This tournament is under the supervision and the regulation of the Games and Amusements Board. Tignan natin kung paano ang diskarte ng LPE. Medyo matagal na by the way na parang break, na parang reset para sa LPE. Rob, you were talking about reset. Do you think that LPE can still win against SMO?
Yeah, I guess.
In the Battle of Mind. Parang ganun.
Actually, kanina sasabihin ko dapat yun kung di lang ako na-commute. Nakikita ko habang nagda-drop sila doon. Actually, parang ang saya nila. Kita mo, sobra yung ngiti. I don't know exactly kung sino yun. Pero during the drafting phase, nagkukulitan pa doon yung Eagles. And I guess, hindi pa nila masyado feel ko ano yung 3 losses na nakuha nila dito. And Arms, muntikan na ma-pick off doon ni Hit.
Yeah. Scary. Pero, guys, I think you still have to think about this as I would say, slow game talaga. Like, it will take a lot of time I would say na si Bruno ay mas mabilis mag-farm kaysa kay 1-1. Pero kasi pag si 1-1 nakakahanap ng mga magandang pitas, and team fights in the early stages could be good. Bimo, nice usage of the quick sand guard para medyo masagot dito si Hayes, but still trying to use his first skill. Not enough damage dahil makukuha ni Selena yung first blood na yun. Hayes takes the first blood.
Wow! I think if ever kung merong execute doon si Bimo, well, definitely hindi siya magkaka-execute dahil tank Kalidia yun. Pero well played kay Yelly Hayes, having the Garrote on the final one. Mayroon siyang shield doon, hindi rin siya na-pick off. And I think ang gandang start doon para sa side ng Smart Omega.
Okay, it's a GC still securing that purple buff, so that's good para sa side ng Omega. Kapag sa nakaliwa, Heath might be in trouble. An arrow connects, pero masyado pang healthy si Arms. Arms gonna be able to just shrug it off. Heath being chased on by 4 members. Take that 2. Dahil nakuha na ni Esmeralda. Yun, sa mataas Bimo. Pumunta na dito may gitna. Actually tag si Ellie Hayes, but will have to back down for the side of Eagles.
Medyo at least medyo nakakabawi dito. I guess in terms of 1v1 here on the bot lane, I think medyo on par lang both Cortese and as well with Jake na dog. Ang pinaka ang titignan talaga natin dito well, is that how Khalid and as well with Valier, yung paano yung magiging sagot nila dito in terms of rotation, and even the Ling here spotting here, pero 4 na miyembro ngayon dito. Wolf ng Eagles trying to go in, kita nila dito yung Bruno, pero yung arrow tumama kay Bimo.
Ellie Hayes gets the level 4. Medyo scary to dahil ibang members ng LPE close to level 4 pa lang, pero Omega needs to respect this. Raging Sandstorm in combination with the skill set of Eagles, it's scary. Kaya naman yung Omega, hindi na lang din sila lalaban. Cortese actually standing tall. Imagine this, ang daming members ng Eagles now, but he's still confident, just walking around there. Samantala, may nakita sila. Yun naman pala yun, Heath and Hayes connection. Securing that kill against Aspect. Tapos, turtle naman para sa SMO. Complete map control, man. The maneuver of Omega in the past minute has been perfect. And how can Eagles offset this? Rob?
Yeah, it's actually perfect. I mean, there was at one point na lamang yung Eagles ng around 1,000 gold. Then suddenly, nag-flip yung switch, napunta naman sa Smart Omega. And gaya nung sinabi mo kanina, bakit patapang si Cortese? And I think it's all because that had GC. Yung vision na pinakita niya doon, alam niya na 4 yung members nandun, pero naka-ready din naman kasi yung mga pana and as well yung mga traps din dito ni Hayes. Wherein lahat ng pana niya dito talagang tingin ko on point most of the time.
We know Hayes is a scary man kapag hawak niya tong Selena. And the Aspect is gonna have a lot of trouble. Katulad na sinabi natin sa draft, this is the first 3 picks sa Omega, actually super duper comfort ng kanilang squad. With their players, like Heath can just be so aggressive even in the presence of Valier. Finally, Aspect gets a purple buff, but that required a lot of rotation na sa Eagles. Ryota, naku po, it's very low, needs to be careful. Hilda actually solo kills Valier somewhere out there. That's bad.
That's more than bad. Not only that, is that na-build na rin dito. Even the Bruno, meron na siyang Berserker's Fury dito, Wolf. And given that this is a Bruno, sobrang sakit to. That I don't think the Big Sun Guard enough dito. And wow. Munti ka pang tumama doon yung pana ni Hayes onto the backlines. Wow, Wolf, Smart Omega, they're actually playing a little different ngayon here. Going here on game number 2. Sila naman yung nakakalamang on the early game.
Heath, buboy pa rin with that passive going through the bushes. Naman kasi yung strength ng Hilda kaya siya nagiging aggressive. Arms now in trouble. Naghabol masyado ang ating Valier. And that means that Heath will survive. Kenji now with the Contrat Inferno. To be aggressive kasi Shaker daw medyo nahatak doon. Pero nagsa-stack lang din itong si 1-1 Selena. Wants to go for the aggressive. Nice Aegis proc. Coming up from Jake the Dog. Very quick with the decision making. Na-dodge na rin yung pana doon. He's gonna be safe. But will Eagles be happy with this? Bottom lane, Ryota is gonna be taken down by Hajizi. So dito rin si Heath. Ating Hilda chasing down Aspect. Ultimate gonna be committed. And he's still chasing. Talagang ginugulo lang niya. Eping dahilan kung bakit first pick or first ban dapat ang Hilda is very confident with it. Nice usage of this Horned Rose. Hindi lang siya nag-deal ng damage, na dodge din niya yung arrow doon. Nice one from Aspect. The Eagles, let's see how they can recuperate from this deficit in the early stages.
Oo, pero kung isipin mo, no, with all the outer turrets here, both of the teams still buhay pa rin naman regardless. And even with the kill na medyo malaki, like 5 kills ang lamang dito ng Omega, it's only 2,000 or rather less than 2,000 ang lamang in terms of the gold. Pero ngayon, ito, unti-unti nang lumalamang dito ang Smart Omega. They got the turtle, they probably gonna get a lot more dito sa may top lane.
Very nice find by Eagles as they take down Kenji. Heath will not be able to defend this kasi wala naman siya ganun kataas sa wave clear. So ang Omega siguro pwede nilang gawin is just to pressure other parts of the map, which in this case is the mid lane. Heath actually stays here. Yelly Haze connects the arrow. Pero na ako pa na isang kill. Lancelot goes down. B-Boy combo pero may quick sand guard for the defense. Tumatakbo na dito. Para may likuran. Going for the cleanup. Tempest of Blaze committed. Connecting on the duel. Double kill. Definitely para kay JC. Mukhang tatatlo pa yatas. Jake the Dog is here. Pero medyo threatened ang si GC. Not gonna let 1-1 activate the ultimate, but instead Yelly Haze. Isang panggula doon sa ating 1-1 all of a sudden. 4 down instead of Eagles. Curtisi even might go for the wipeout. There he goes! Curtisi! Oh, gets away with the flicker as well.
Oh my! Oh my! Well, that was perfect for the side of Smart Omega. Even Kenji not joining the fray. Basag lang siya dito objective-wise. Pero sobrang ganun ka-confident si Heath and as well with Haze. This combination, this duo, time and time, talagang sobrang pinapahanga tayo. Nakita mo yun, that's actually 2 versus 4 all throughout. Medyo ilang segundo pa bago dumating yung clean up doon, Yaji. Pero look at that Haze. Paana na naman tumama dito kay Bimo and it's all, we're back to square one dito. It looks like the Eagles, sila naman yung nasa ganitong sitwasyon wherein ang Omega during game number 1.
You are definitely correct, but we'll see. Meron na rin silang 1-1. Maybe they can find a way to come back. Problem is, hindi ganun kaganda yung wave clear coming out from Google. At least still long range wave clear. Wala silang still like Farsa. They have Balir, but that might not be enough to defend against Smart Omega. Tignan natin, etong si Curtisi. Bottom lane, on this marksman, very confident. Naka-red buff na rin, naka-orange buff. I mean, the arrow, not gonna... But you can see the damage output. Bimo picks up the blade armor, quickly goes for... What? The kill coming out from Arms. What was that? Pero si Heath dito with the flicker play punishes the Lancelot. Aspect is down. Arms gonna be going for the Torrent para din ma-push back to si Kenji at si Heath. Ryota trying to save this top lane but it's not gonna be enough. It still will go down. Omega, ganun naman pa dito. Kenji and team still staying. Or is it just a poke? Is this just a bait? Dahil yung turtle nakuha na ni Bruno mag-isa. Men, sa sobrang daming aksyon, hindi ko na napansin, it's just the turtle timing pala.
It is indeed, that's the turtle timing, and given that Wolf, apat lang yung lumalaban dito for the Smart Omega, and look at that, ladies and gentlemen, though masyadong nag-overstay na yata dito ang Smart, nakuha naman dito si Heath and as well with Kenji, pero I guess this is a very small victory for the side of the Eagles, pero they would gonna take whatever they could, kasi yung Bruno rito, Wolf, sobrang farm dito ni Curtisi. Not only the Berserker's Fury, I think he already has an endless battle. And this is just a 5,000 lead for the Smart Omega squad.
You can't imagine yourself in their position. Tignan mo naman, maganda nga yung kanilang draft. Meron silang win condition in the late stage. However, meron silang isang missing piece, which is the wave clear. If they do find a way para hindi sila napupushan ng Smart Omega, maybe they can go to the late game. But before then, dun sila magkakaroon ng problema. Let's see and let's find out how Omega will try to push into this part of the map. Tignan mo naman, kailangan magkumpul-kumpul ng Eagles just to be able to keep the farm up para kay Aspect as well as this 1-1. Kailangan nila ng mga bodyguards bago sila makang-farm. In comes the push. Curtisi, look at the damage. Tinatry nila clear yung wave, but it will not be enough. In comes a GC as well. Low na si Armsito. Using the flicker to get out, but that's gonna be a kill onto Bimo. Khalid down for the count. Top lane naman nandun si Hilda. Nandun na rin si Kenji. As well as Yelly Haze. They're trying to push. Where is the clear? Ryota tries to keep the turret safe, pero yung bottom na pala. Look at those crits! 1, 2, 3 hits. Almost na naprotektahan doon. As long as si Curtisi, there's the punishment. Finally! Aspect finds the opening. Really punishing Curtisi in there.
Oo, medyo malalim na rin talaga ang Wolf. Pero I guess they have to take it. Pero ito, I think the Eagles realizes na hindi na tayo pwede magiging sobrang reactive. We just don't, kumbaga, they're playing not to lose na dito. Pero ito, to play to win is to get out, to get a kills dito para sa side ng Smart Omega. And HGC gonna be a good start. Pero si Aztec pa yung nawala, Wolf.
This is bad. Bimo from the backline is actually connecting on Heat. Nice touch from a GC. May tumamang pa na kay Arms. Ina-dive dito. Look at the damage from a GC, but he will not be able to take down the Valier. At pagbaback na lang din ng mga members ng Eagles as well as Omegas. The push in the middle should be stopped here by Eagles. Nag-aabang ang Omega ng opening. Kukuha na rin sila ng orange buff. Not GZ is gonna take that one. Samantala, ito namang si Bruno, nag-prepare na lang din. I think they're waiting for their own orange buff and maybe the Lord take para naman sa finisher na ng Omega. Eagles, man, paano de-depensa dito ang mga Eagles kung may Lord na ang Omega?
Nahihirapan na rin talaga eh. Pero ito, medyo nag-overstay yata dito. Going in, pero gonna be a flicker or rather out dito for the Hilda. And hirap ngayon dito, Wolf. Kitang-kita naman natin the Eagles doesn't hindi ba fully utilized dito yung mga heroes dito ng Eagles because wala silang definite na pang frontline. The Khalid, yes, the blade armor nandun siya doon, pero his HP wasn't enough para i-sustain lahat ng mga damage na ibabato sa kanya dito ng Bruno, even with dito ni HGC on the link. And given that, tignan mo kung gaano kabilis nila tinunaw doon yung Lord.
With the power of the Ling as well as this Bruno with the crits, guaranteed crits sa first few hits. I know that really is scary. Tingnan mo naman, kahit yung mga Torre dito nasasaktan ng sobra-sobra. 2,300 crit.
Oh wow, that really hurt. It really hurts.
It really hurts talaga.
It really hurts talaga. Oh, ya Wolf. Pero ito, this gonna be probably the final team fight dito because the Lord's very healthy onto the bottom lane. Walang Torre doon. And paano ngayon ang magiging depensa dito ng Eagles?
On to 1-1, tingnan mo naman, one-third na lang ang buhay doon, yung 1-1 and that is the turret down to my top lane, yung middle, ganun na rin, exposed na dahil yung Eagles kailangan depensan itong Lord push to my bottom lane. Heat is there, trying to just be pesky around the Eagles side. Bimo going for the quick sand guard, pero the punishment is there. Link takes him down. Ano ang susunod na move from the Eagles? How can they defend this? Arrow not gonna connect, pero si GZ going low, chased down by Ryota, but is this a bait na? Yelly Haze trying to poke, and still Kurt Easy. He's dealing with the face. Look at the crits. Arms eating that one. Jake the Dog with the ultimate. He's very low. Heat can he be taken down? Kung hindi pa, yun na nga nakuha pa ni Hayes yung kill. Samantala, dito sa may baba aspect, actually gonna get the kill on one. Arms able to punish one. He still is alive. Tempest of Blades gagamitin dito ni GC. Aspect is going down from Kurt Easy. Let's deliver help para sa ating Bruno. Kaya magdepensa ni Ryota at ni Arms. Sabi ng SMO, back. Just chill.
Parang naulit lang ulit. This is actually almost the same that they had. Ito parang dumidepensa na lang dito si Arms and Ryota on previous matches. Pero wow, doon na natin nakita on how weak Jake the Dog right now on his 1-1. He almost had it. Pero the damage, hindi pa enough yung items dito. Hindi pa enough yung time para sa Eagles na makapag-comeback dito. They need a lot more breather. Meron siya corrosion, meron siya DHS, even the Wind of Nature. Pero they still lack damage. Evident naman yon, kitang-kita natin yon. At hindi nila ito ma-fully utilize. Mas more on nagiging reactive sila dito. Hindi nila mabato yung mga offensive spells nila dito kasi walang frontline ngayon sa Eagles. Hindi dahil ayaw nila. It's more on walang may kaya dahil so overly farm. Lack item dito yung dalawang core. This 2-core setup na pinakita sa atin ng both teams. Smart Omega playing it very, very flawlessly para sa atin, Wolf.
Absolutely right, Rob. Hindi ko alam kung paano gagawin ng Eagles on how they can defend this. But they do have a marksman. They do have this Lancelot na pwedeng pang-execute. Siyempre with the Phantom Execution. To find out, Kenji and GZ just scouting the area. Samantala, Heat looking for an opening. Arrow, hindi tama. Naghahanap ng angulo dito ng Smart Omega. Double buff yung dalawang course ng Smart Omega. That is scary indeed. Walang makuha ang Eagles dito. Naghihintay ng minions ang Smart Omega. Let's see, top lane, there will be a little bit of a minion push. And Kenji just throwing the sides at this point. Mukhang maghihintay ang Smart Omega ng pangalawang Lord. It's gonna be respawning in 39 seconds.
They have to contest it. Kailangan
Ooh.
nilang i-contest yung susunod na Lord Wolf because kung hihintayin lang nila ulit, kung kanina may dalawa silang Torre, hindi nila naubos sila and almost lost the match. The second, in the next 20 seconds, kailangan maging composed dito ng Eagles. They have to contest definitely itong susunod na Lord. Ang problema lang is, there is this lane na pwedeng mag-side lane pushes, even the Bruno. Kasi ang mahirap sa ganitong setup, Ulpe, no? Kahit solo mo lang yung Bruno or just give him one tank, tapos magiging reactive na ngayon dito ang Eagles kasi merong Ling eh. And they have this fear na pwede silang ma-split push. Just give it either of the two cores dito ng Smart Omega.
I think that Ling and Bruno, enough na to para mag-take ng Lord, and it is indeed
Ang
happening. Hindi
bilis!
naman gaano kabilis i-take ng Smart Omega ang Lord ngayon. Eagles will not be able to even contest at this point. Now Bimo in trouble. This is bad. That's the attack of Eagles down for the count. 45 seconds na walang takye ang Eagles. They're trying to clear the waves, but they're far too late. Nandito rin si GC looking for Aspect. Actually fights him! Oh no, Aspect! He's in trouble! Kaya ba niya tumakas dito? Yelly Haze is here. Third throws, pero kulang talaga. Killing spree ngayon si GC. And that might be it for Eagles.
It is. It is indeed. That's a 40 second on the death timer dito. One of the damage dito ng Eagles. Yes, mabubuhay pa perhaps dito si Bimo. Pero paano magiging depensa nila dito?
Even Jake the Dog is a global. Pops the ages just in time na para sila si Bruno dahil doon sa pag-extend ng Smart Omega. Kariyota is trouble. Gets away. Episode Blades na abot na nga doon. Yes, without that. Jake the Dog from field to it. At least down for the count. But the base is a shambles. Eagles will lose this game. Smart Omega takes the 2-0.
Oh my! Smart Omega coming back, bouncing back dito sa laban nila against LPE. And of course, that's very unfortunate for LPE losing those two series that they had during the day. But of course, Smart Omega showing us a hit coming back on the tank roll. Nakita na naman natin, once again, nakita na naman natin yung Selena ni Hayes na wala pa din kakupas-kupas. And of course, Curtizy going back on the sideline, or rather siya naman yung naging marksman nila with the absence of Toshi. Almost the same in terms of execution and performance as well. And here is the post game. Look at that. This is a 10 to 12,000 lead from the side of Smart Omega, and how well itemized. Kanina gusto ko sa yung itanong, Wolfe, the blade armor dito ni Bimo, was it actually worth it, or it's better to have a more tankier item, like for example a brute force plate, or rather a dominance ice? Pero the blade armor, is this a direct counter dito for the damage na isa ba yun sa reason kung bakit nila napipick off dito si Curtizy during team fights?
Probably yes. Lalong-lalo na nung ginamit siya, parang pagkabili ni Bimo, hinarapan na ganyan si Bruno. And actually, sila pa little bit after that. Is it actually the best item? Maybe so, kung mas maaga sana nila nakuha. But Curtizy, masyado na madaming crits. Actually, double Fury pa siya. Berserker Fury siya. Because he knows that it's already over. That the game, they have the control of it. When you want to go for blade armor, you have to make sure na yung HP mo ay mas mataas kesa dun sa core ng kalaban. And also considering the lifesteal, right? So, unfortunately, the math wasn't perfect at kinulang sila ng damage output in the end. Let's look at the highlights and see how this game developed in favor of the Smart Omega squad.
Well, all throughout, ito yung pinakamagandang 1v1 dito ni Bimo and ni Hayes. Like what I've said, kung may execute doon yung Khalid, but this is a tank Khalid. Pero look at that, yung mga paanan ni Hayes during the early game talaga, yung nagbigay ng malaking lead for the side of the Smart Omega, for them to be able to choke down the rest, or yung kumbaga pinaliit nila yung mapa dito ng Eagles. And yung continuous aggression ng Smart Omega na halos yung 1-1 hindi niya na nga malaman kung saan siya kailangan mag-farm from the bot lane, lumipat siya dun sa top para lang magkaroon siya ng more space. Pero hindi rin niya nagawa dahil all throughout si Heat nandun lang sa may jungle side dito ng Eagles.
I wanna say, I think that the viewers, kung ngayon nyo lang po nakita itong Hilda, what's the importance of Hilda? Bakit siya sobrang lakas sa ating meta is because of the fact na kaya niya maging aggressive. Pinipigilan niyang mag-buff yung mga kalaban niya, yung carry ng kalaban. Tapos napakadali mag-regen. Kung nakita niyo, sobrang kunat. Tapos dumaan lang siya sa mga bushes, meron siyang extra shields and regeneration. And I can say that Jake the Dog tried his best. Ang ganda ng paggamit niya dito ng Aegis. But was just right in front of him and just punishes him duly. Tapos ito na yung tuloy-tuloy. At yata yung technically wipe out no, ng Smart Omega. And
Grabe.
Eagles really just kept on chasing but they cannot really outrun Omega in this game.
Bitin talaga eh. I think if ever man kung mauulit tong laro na to, if ever could the Eagles could be able to hold on like 2 to 3 minutes more na hindi sila nagkakaroon ng basag dito, like a 15-minute mark na walang nababasag on their base turret, they could potentially come back. Kasi nakita mo yung signs of hope sa kanila nung naubos na yung torre nila, nakakasabay sila, nakukuha nila, napapa-low nila lahat dito the side of the Smart Omega. Kaso hindi na nila mahabol doon from that position nung naubos yung mga torre nila. Kasi all throughout, the damage from the Bruno, the damage from Haji with the Ling, wala na eh. Hindi na talaga kayang habulin eh. Like what you said, hindi nga makalabas, hindi na kayang tangkihin. Kasi ang ano talaga dito ng Eagles is that Ryota to be able to sustain the rest of the members of Smart Omega. Bimo na kumbaga to take all the damage like what we've seen on STI Olympian na si Deb na hinohold niya, binibait niya yung mga skills and just use the quick sun guard. Pero hindi ito yung nangyari para sa LPE. Pero of course, Wolf, who's gonna be the MVP of the game? We've been giving full emphasis on the Hilda. Of course, definitely Mr. Fundamental himself, Hit.
Mr. Fundamental, ang captain ng side ng SMO, has been playing the Hilda all throughout the year. Ganyan yata. Just kidding aside, ito yung mga paborito niyang gamitin because he understands yung movements ng kalaban. Na alam niya kung saan pupunta yung mga carry ng kalaban at kung saan magpo-farm at doon niya binabasa yung sitwasyon at doon niya tinatalo yung kanya mga kalaban, doon siya naging aggressive. That's why Heath from Smart Omega has been very instrumental on many of the victories of the Smart Omega squad. Abangan niyo pa to, and I think that teams should be respecting this as well. Kung hindi mo man siya iban, at least i-deny pick mo against Heath because that is very scary. Let's look at the development of the group standings. Rob, after we have seen 2-0 mula doon sa side ng Smart Omega, 3 points agad ang nadagdag sa kanila at medyo lumalayo sila sa Bren ePro when it comes to the points. However, LPE, this is a bad day for them, unfortunately. After 2-0 loss kanina sa STI eOlympians, another 2-0 loss against Smart Omega. This is not their day, but definitely kaya pa nilang humabol in this standings that we have.
Yeah, indeed. We're only halfway through the league and of course LPE, it might be a bad day for them. Pero of course, this is a day for learning din as well. Kasi ito yung teams na way back na natalo silang Cignal, then they bounce back on Happy Feet Emperors. And for today, they have 2 series loss and for sure, it's gonna be a good bounce back. Kumbaga, si Coach Pana going back onto the drawing board, ito yung mga nangyari, ito yung mga dapat nating ayusin, and for sure, mas marami pa tayong makikita for the side of the LPE squad. Pero I guess meron yata tayong mga winners ng ating mga jersey here on the Nationals.
That's right. Let's actually congratulate yung mga winners natin ng choice of the Nationals team's jersey. Ng kanilang, kung man yung favorite team nila. That is, si Frederick Manawat. Congratulations sa tropa natin. Yes, the screenshot god. Shoutout sa'yo. Daisy Patnon and Jade Biglog. Congratulations for winning Nationals jersey. I'm sure na matutuwa kayo dyan. Kung sino man ang favorite team nyo. At syempre, congratulations sa team na nanalo ngayon, which is Smart Omega. Man, Rob.
Nagulat ako doon kay Fred Manawat. Yun, napakasipag. Props to that guy.
Oo, at yan, congrats sa'yo, pare ko. At syempre din sa iba mga viewers. Still have one series for today for this triple header Saturday. But that will mean na tapos na ang ating series for LPE versus SMO. Maraming salamat po sa lahat ng nood. Rob, what a wonderful day that we had so far. And syempre, what a wonderful series we've seen from Smart Omega. Tingnan natin kung parang bounce back ang LPE sa mga susunod pang mga edisyon ng The Nationals. For now, we're gonna be signing off. See you again next time for the next series. For now, takit sila muna. Maraming salamat po sa lahat ng nanood.